Okay, so this sauce was made in 1919. The artist is John Singer Sargent. He was commissioned to paint this by British War Memorials in 1918 and researched the painting by visiting both Arras and Ypres before the war actually ended. So that's the information we're given. Now, first of all, we're going to focus on the content of this sauce. It's a painting of a gas attack happening and a strategy used to cope with the type of attack as the soldiers are standing in a line. This gas caused the soldiers to be temporarily blinded, obviously, because they've got blindfolds on. So they are leading each other in a line. There is another line of soldiers behind them as well. So this is shown twice in the sauce to emphasise it. There are many soldiers in the front lying dead or injured as well, so that's significant. And this is another effect of what this kind of attack might have on the soldiers. We don't know if they're dead or alive, but there's lots of bodies at the bottom. The soldiers organising them, there's one person there. They could be maybe a medic or somebody not injured, perhaps, because he's pointing the way in which they're leading out. Okay, so that's the content of the sauce. That's really important to state basically what the sauce tells us, what we can learn from it. And secondly, we're going to look at origin. So to focus on origin, you need to draw your attention to the commentary that goes with the sauce right here. Okay, so origin is where is the sauce from, who is it made by, what significant impact will that have on its utility. So we can see that the artist has visited the Battle of Arras and Ypres and has had he's been a first-hand witness of what effect a gas attack was like. This helps make it a bit more useful because this is from somebody who actually was there, who actually saw this happening. However, he has been paid for this because he's been commissioned to make it. So therefore, he's going to emphasise certain points that he wants to, that maybe is not happening everywhere. He wants to show just a gas attack. The title of the painting is Gassed, so he's only going to show gas attacks and nothing else. Okay, so maybe that could be a limitation. That leads us on to purpose as well. Why was it made? So not just to make money. It's an artist's impression of what he thinks it's like. It's not a photograph, and it's to be put up somewhere in a museum. This has been commissioned by the War Memorials. Let's just think about the words British War Memorials there on the sauce. This means that it wants to show the horrors of what people went through and gave up their lives in the war. So it's going to show a lot of death and destruction. It could possibly be exaggerated as it only shows us the soldiers that have been gassed, and mainly just this type of injury. It doesn't show us anything else. It doesn't show us what's around the painting, what other things were going on at the same time as it. This could also be a limitation. Content, origin, purpose, now onto own knowledge. So, through my own knowledge, I know that this kind of gas attack led to temporary blindness, which was also leading to the swelling of the eyelids, which has been the result of a type of gas called mustard gas. That's what that did. This source does not tell us about the other type of gas attacks. So there's the limitations. There's two more types of gas attacks it leaves out, such as chlorine gas attacks, which led to death by suffocation, or phosgene gas, which killed people very quickly. These were earlier used before mustard gas was actually used. Overall, the source is useful to show what kind of effect mustard gas had on soldiers and a way in which they cope with this on the actual battlefields. But its limitations is that it doesn't show all types of gas attacks and other various ways of treating soldiers that were gassed, other than putting a blindfold over them and leading them away from the situation to get to probably a base hospital eventually. Okay, so that's looking at how useful this source is in relation to gas attacks on the Western Front.